Good morning, y'all, and happy Friday. Flyaways are ridiculous. Good morning. I am coming at you live on my team page to talk a little bit about sponsoring, but I am going to wait just a few minutes to see if some people pop on. So when you pop on, if you could, say hi, say good morning, let me know that you're there. Good morning, Ilya. I cannot wait for the workstation to finally update because I was trying to look at all of my frontline incentive people to see where you guys ended, and it's gone. I'm so sad. So if you are on here, shout yourself out if you just earned part of the incentive to Marco Island. Shout yourself out, y'all. All right, so I want to get started and talk about sponsoring. So if you're watching the replay of this, it is February 1st, and Cincy just dropped a $49 join special. And for those of you that don't know, I joined Cincy on the $49 join kit with like $72 in my bank account, real life. So after taxes and shipping, I didn't even know if my purchase of my $49 join kit was even going to go through, because I literally had like $72. And I made the choice to buy a Cincy starter kit because I had been watching Chloe from afar, and it was like the last day of the $49 join special, and I just felt like I needed to do it. And when I originally joined Cincy, I had zero intent of selling. I even told Chloe, I'm not going to sell anything. I'm going to do my minimum 200 order. I'm just going to buy from myself so me and my mom can get free shipping. We're spending that much with Chloe every month anyway. Don't worry about me. I'm not going to sell. You don't have to train me. I'm good. She was like, okay, but just wait, because Cincy's amazing and you're going to see what it can do for you. And I was like, no, girl, I'm good. So little did I know that, number one, I'm very goal-oriented as it is, or like competitive with myself. And when you join Cincy, I literally had no idea that they were going to send me emails saying if you sell 500 in your first 15 days, you earn a shooting star reward, and all that different stuff. And so I was like, well, I'm going to do that, because even if I don't want to sell to someone else, I want to earn this reward and get this really cool kit for cheaper. Like, I love Cincy, duh. Anyway, long story short, I realized how amazing Cincy is and how this business can really bless you. And after having $72 in my bank account from joining on the $49 special, here 3 years later, I've surpassed my teacher income. And I just want to share that with you guys first, so that you know that I'm not preaching to you about something that I'm not going to do myself. And another thing, anytime you see me come on here and do lives, a lot of times I'm talking to myself and getting myself motivated, because that's exactly why I've done 4 live videos this week, because it was all stuff that I needed to say out loud and challenge myself. So this sponsoring video is all about me too. Well, not all about me, but like, I know that I need to do that as well. So if you are wanting to grow your business, number one, you have to ask. Because if you don't ask, the answer is always no. And that's the first thing that I ask people when they say, I can't sponsor. Well, number one, you're already saying you can't. So no, you're not going to sponsor if you keep saying that you can't. But number two, how many people are you asking? People aren't just going to flood and come to you and say, hey, I want to join your team. I mean, yeah, it's happened, but that's not how you're going to grow a successful business. So you have to ask. And I'm just going to tell you that if you don't ask them to join your team, then I'm going to ask them, or one of my leaders is going to ask them, because we are ready to bless all the people. And if you're a dream team member watching this, or haven't quite joined Cincy, I don't want you to think I'm teaching my team to just ask you because they want to grow their business, because this is not about us. I know what Cincy has done for me, and I want to bless everyone else with that opportunity, because I know it's changed my life. It's changed Chloe's life. It has changed so many people's lives. I can say that it's changed Anna's life that's on here, and Brittany's life that's on here, and Ilya, I'm sure it has changed your life. I know that, I think Ilya just earned her very first incentive, and I know Anna and Brittany went with me to Europe, and I'm just saying that this business can change your life if you let it. So the very first thing you need to do is ask yourself how many people you're asking. And you also need to ask yourself if you're doing it for you or if you're doing it for them, because it never needs to be about you. Because if it's about how Cincy is going to change you, people can see that. And people are going to read right through that. And if that's why you really want to grow your team for you, I mean, you really need to reevaluate that, because that's not why I want to grow my team. I want to grow my team because I want every woman to feel valued, and I want them to be a part of our girl tribe, and I want them to feel like they can bring something to their family if they're a stay-at-home mom. Or I want them to be able to get out of their situation the way that I was. When I joined and had Mason, stop. When I joined and had $72 in my bank account, I wasn't married to Chase. I wasn't getting child support. I literally had no one helping me but my mom, and that was sad. I was 24 years old and I had $0 to my name. As soon as I paid my bills, I had no money. And so I knew that I needed to do something different, and this can be what's different for you. Mason, Brody said hi.
Hi.
He said hi. So make it about them. Something else is, if you are not wanting to sponsor or recruit, whatever you want to say, your very best customers, I need you to tell me why. Most people, it's because they're scared that they're not going to have any more business, or they're not going to get any more sales, or whatever. It's a personal reason. Let me tell you what, that Anna Alvera, who is on here right now, was one of my very best customers. She was having $1,000 parties for me every time she had a party, and I wasn't even doing anything. She was getting all of her people so excited. Cindy on here on our team, I tried to recruit her at Anna's party for the exact same reason, and because they were great customers and they already knew the product and they loved it. I can promise you that if you're recruiting your best customers, your business is going to explode, because they are going to make better consultants, or they are going to make great consultants, and they can take care of their friends and their customers a hell of a lot better than you can, because they have that personal relationship with them. And if you are giving up that 25% on one party for them to join your team, and they're successful and you train them right and they are really working the business, that is going to pay you back over and over again. Because I mean, it just is. So Anna's growing her team and she's having an amazing time and all those different things. You're going to get paid way more on a couple $1,000 parties. And that's how you really bless people, and they're able to take care of their people more so than you are. Another thing is, you need to stop worrying about other people's opinions. Stop. Who cares if someone thinks that you're crazy for joining Cincy? Who cares? Their opinion doesn't matter. Their opinions do not pay your bills. Their opinions do not make you feel confident. Their opinions do not give you friends to hang out with. Their opinions don't let you travel the world. Who cares? Do you know that my parents don't even understand this? And they don't support me? Until recently, I've been doing this for 3 years, and my dad and stepmom have never bought from me up until recently. Why? Because they didn't believe in this, and they didn't believe me, and they didn't believe this was a real business, and they didn't believe that this was a way out of my situation, until I showed them my 1099. And I was like, this is why I work so hard. Get off my back. You can either support me or peace out, because I ain't got time for people that are not supporting me. So do not care what other people's opinions are. You got to not worry about that. If you want to sponsor, I want you to ask yourself why you joined. Why did you join Scentsy? Because your sponsor asked you to, because you love the product, because you saw someone go on a trip, because you just wanted an outlet. Think of reasons that you joined and then attract people to that. Not everybody wants to quit their job. Not everybody wants to go on free trips. Some people may just want to do the minimum 200 and be done with it, and that's okay. Those people can still join your team and you can still help change their life because they're getting their Scentsy free and half off. Everybody doesn't have to want to do those things. So that. Quit telling yourself or talking yourself out of asking people because you decide for them that they don't want this opportunity. Do not decide for them that they're too busy. Do not decide for them that they don't need the money. There's lawyers. Cassidy Johnson on Chloe's team is a freaking lawyer. Do you really think she needs the money? She's joining for the trips, for the girlfriends, for getting the free and half off. Like, don't tell yourself or talk yourself out of asking someone based on your opinions, because your opinions don't matter. Theirs do. I mean, just being honest. Don't talk yourself out of asking somebody because you don't think they can afford the kit. Who cares if they can't afford the $49 join kit? Number one, I couldn't. Number two, I found a way. Number three, they can join absolutely for free with a host to join kit. So stop talking yourself out of it. If you're talking yourself out of asking people to join, you're doing yourself a disservice. You need to, another tip is to make a list of 100. You need to be talking to people daily about the join opportunity. Instead of starting out with buy, host, join, you need to change your lingo to join, host, buy. Because if you ask someone to buy from you and they say no, how in the hell are you going to turn that around and have a join conversation? You should always start with the join opportunity. When they say no or they say I don't really know, you flip it, you move on to a party. Have them host a party and see how they like it. If they still say no, then ask for them to buy. If they still say no to that, ask them for referrals. A no is not that big of a deal. Do you know how many times I've heard no? Or people have ignored me? More than I can count, y'all. And that's how I sponsor people, because I do not let the no's bring me down. Who cares? Just like I said yesterday, you don't get your feelings hurt or feel bad about saying no to a waitress when they ask you if you want dessert. You are offering someone a blessing. So stop thinking that you're bothering people. Realize you're giving them something that's amazing. And no, and this is 100% truth, and I know some of my leaders on here can agree with me, it only takes one person to join your team to completely change your business. It only takes one to join your team and completely change your business. One. Think about that. And you can't be mad when your one joins my team and they're a rock star because you didn't ask them. And if you're a leader on here or you're rewatching this, please, if you believe that or you've had that happen to you about just one person joining to completely change your business, please share that on here. Because I don't think other people believe it. Because I know it was very hard for me to believe when I first joined that only one person would change my business. But I've had, I just cannot even explain how true that is. And there will be more than one as you continue to grow your business. I definitely have more than one now. But it only took one for my business to explode from 12 people to 36 in 1 month. It only takes one. Asking every single party host to join. If you are not offering them a way to join your team, you're doing them a disservice. Why should you get paid on all their hard work when they're the ones that did it? Ask them to join your team. Like I said before, it's gonna pay you back over and over. Just because someone says no right now, that does not mean no forever. Let me say it for the people in the back. Just because they say no right now does not mean no forever. I was a no and I watched forever before I finally decided to join. Anna, and I keep using her because she's on here, Anna was a no for months until her husband decided, nah, we ain't gonna do that, bruh, and bought her kit for her. Chloe was a no until her husband bought her kit. Okay, like, just because someone says no, that does not mean no forever. And I want you to even ask yourself, did you really just join the first time someone asked you? Probably not. You probably sat back and watched and prayed about it and thought about it and said, no, I can't do this. And then one day decided it was a God thing and you needed to take a leap of faith and decided that what's the worst that can happen? So just because someone says no does not mean no forever. You need to have a dream team list. If you haven't written down every single person that you have ever talked to about the joint opportunity, you're doing yourself a disservice because you think you're going to remember all those people that you've talked to, and you're not going to. Nobody remembers every single person they've talked to about the joint opportunity. Even if it's something as nonchalant as, girl, you should just join. I write that down. I mentioned it to him one time. Even if it's literally like just so nonchalant. It does not have to be a hard, scary convo. It can literally be like if someone says, oh, I love Scentsy, I'm going to be like, well, you should join. Duh. Get your Scentsy for free and half off. It doesn't have to be a conversation where I'm like, join my team, change your life, go on all these trips. That's intimidating to people because they feel like they can't do that, or they can't be as successful as me or as someone else. And you want to know why? Because comparison is the thief of joy. And if you're saying that you've never compared yourself to someone, I need to know your secret because I do it. And you also need to realize that you comparing yourself does nothing for you but bring you down. And you cannot compare someone's highlight reel, which is mostly what Facebook is, to their real life and their struggle. Because if you really knew how many people I had heard tell me no, you just don't know. I have a large team because I've heard no. And people are sponsoring because they've heard no. So don't let seeing someone else sponsor someone get you discouraged. Okay? Thank you for sharing that, Ilya. And I'm telling y'all, people ignore you, people say no, and they think about it and they continue to watch you. Even if you think that someone's not watching you, they're watching you. Your haters are watching you. Can I tell you how many people told me no and then come to me later and want to join? Or can I tell you how many people straight talk shit on Facebook about multi-level marketing and direct sales and then come to me later because they see I'm consistent and they see I'm going to stick with it? It's so important to realize that people are watching you. If you aren't asking people to join, people don't know that you want to grow your team. And if you don't want to grow your team, that's fine. If someone comes to you and does want to grow their team, refer them to someone in your downline or refer them to someone on our team that does want to grow. It's okay if you don't want to grow your team, but if you do, I'm here. If you have a sponsor, you're farther down and your sponsor isn't training you, or your sponsor doesn't really want to grow their business, don't worry about it. Go above them. Ask their sponsor. Go on YouTube. Find ways to train yourself. Please, please, please do not use the excuse as my sponsor quit or my sponsor's not working or whatever about why you can't grow your business or why you can't be successful, because that is an excuse and you are your own business owner. So you have to push past that. There has been so many directors, so many directors and so many successful people that don't have a sponsor at all, that ever trained them, that ever did the things that they needed to do, and they have still found a way to be successful. Is it important to train your people once they join? Absolutely, because you're not going to be successful if they are not successful. So remember that you still have a responsibility after you get them to join your team. Let me also say, are you giving join information to people? Do you have join information ready? Such as the join the journey file that's on the files tab in our page. You should have that with your information ready to go, whether it's saved in your notes, in your phone, whether it's saved in your email, wherever it's saved, you should have that. And I'm going to be honest, like, I make it so easy. I share everything I do. So even if you just joined Scentsy today or tomorrow or last year, go on the Files tab, find the Join the Journey Word document, take my name off of it, put your name and picture and join info on it, and let's go. Have it ready. It's that easy. I am giving you the tools that I use. I have that so that it answers a lot of the questions that people have when they are asking for join information. I have that Join the Journey thing. You can buy flyers from Scentsy. I think they even come in your join kit, Living the Dream. I don't really use these a whole lot because I've been with Scentsy for a while, so I've made something else that I'm going to show you. But have these. Put these in all of your customers' orders. It tells some information and it has the compensation plan. This is an old one, so don't really stress about that. This is another thing I have is the top 10 reasons to join Scentsy. This is on the workstation. It's probably in the Files tab. I give this to people, and you need to know these things. You're your own boss. You have the opportunity to give more than you take, and that's one of Scentsy's core values, and that's exactly how I run my business. I want to give this business blessing to people. You don't need a degree. You can be yourself. So that is on the Files tab. I have my Scentsy story, and I have just written that out, and it's why I joined Scentsy and what I've done so far in Scentsy, and I always have that as well. And what I'm taking all this out of is a little folder, and if you just join, please do not think you have to have a folder. You can literally, you can literally use the little plastic bags that room sprays come in, a Ziploc, whatever. It doesn't matter. Just have some join info ready if someone wants to join. Do you want to go to Caleb's party tomorrow? Then you better stop. Get on your game and let me finish, please. Love you, mean it. Sorry, y'all. The struggle. Here is an old Join the Journey file and I will make sure that the new one is updated. What did I just say? You're making everybody see you act wrong and not do the right thing. Get on your game and give me a second. Is it not charging? Okay, then be quiet for just a few minutes. Okay, sorry y'all. And then since I've been with Scentsy for a while, I've made a trifold. So this is how I really share my journey, because this is really me. And it has pictures of different incentive trips that I've been on, pictures of me and my husband, all the places that I've been. And then on the back, it tells a little bit more about my story. And then it says, want to know more. It says, I would love to have coffee, FaceTime, a lunch date to go over how we can get you started on your own personal journey. If I've learned one thing in life, it's to be bold and not let fear hold me back. Choose to kick fear in the face and move to take control of your life. And I 100% live and breathe by that, because you are the only one that can control your situation. You are the only one that can control your business, and you determine your success. So I feel like I've just kind of went over and over and not given you a whole lot of sponsoring tips, but the biggest thing I can say is you've got to be asking more people. Statistics show that only 1 out of every 10 is going to join. So if you're only asking 5 people and you get 5 no's, you are not asking enough people. If you are not writing down those people that you talk to about the join opportunity, you need to do that. You have to keep following up with them, because no doesn't mean no forever. I didn't join the first time I got asked. Most of the people on here that are watching on my team didn't join the first time they got asked. And you just have to keep showing people that Scentsy life. You need to make sure that you're being positive on social media. You're being positive throughout your life. Make sure people know that this is a fun thing for you. Make it about them. Does anybody have any questions about sponsoring? I feel like this wasn't as good of a training as usual, because my notes are on my phone and I can't do a live and look at my notes at the same time. I don't think. Let me see if I can. I don't think I can make it small. Back here. I see you. Okay. All right. If you don't ask, the answer's always no. Ask all the people, share the blessing, make it about them, not about you, because that's the truth. Know the compensation plan, know the rules, have join info ready. If someone asks you for join info, you need to have that join the journey file ready. If you don't have these types of things ready yet, that's okay. But you at least need to have this file that I've already made for you, that I'm going to make sure as soon as I go into work is updated and on the team page. All you have to do is change your info and know what's in there. That's it. Know the different join opportunity specials, know the host to join, know the $49 kit this month because it's February, know what's in the $99 kit. If you just joined, guys, if you just joined Scentsy, if you joined today, if you joined yesterday, if you join a week from now, I want you to know that it is never too soon to start growing your team. You don't have to know everything to sponsor. And that's one of my biggest regrets about joining, when I joined Scentsy, is I didn't ask anybody to join my team for the first 4 months because I was scared that I wouldn't know the answers. I was scared that I would be a bad leader. I was scared that I wouldn't be able to do it. Number one, Scentsy has updated all their training stuff. So really, I mean, anybody can join Scentsy and has so much training readily available from Scentsy that they really don't need you, but that you still need to train them. But learning together is so great. How awesome would it be if you and a really good friend of yours joined at the same time? You're learning things together. You're going through things together. You've sort of got a battle buddy. Anna says, if you're new, it's fun to learn together with your team. Absolutely. And I still learn daily. And I know that I'm a much different sponsor and a much different leader than I was when I first joined Scentsy. It's okay to not know. You just have to train yourself and figure it out. And that's what our team is for. That's what your upline sponsor is for. Just because you join and you're brand new and you don't know, I'm going to help you. Number one. Number two, every single person that joins Scentsy gets training from Scentsy, and every single person that joins my team gets a welcome email with trainings that I've done personally that I send them. So honestly, I give you so much. You just have to make the commitment to do it. So if you are watching this and you're a Dream Team member and you're on the fence, I want you to ask yourself, what's the worst thing that can happen? I literally have stickers that say, ask me how $99 changed my life. And I do the $99 because that's what the join is most of the time. But honestly, it should say, ask me how $49 changed my life. My very first Scentsy paycheck was $250 because I worked really hard and I wanted to make sure I made my money back. So I doubled or tripled, I'm not doing math right now, what my original investment is. If you're scared and you don't know if you're going to be successful, what was the last thing you spent $50 on that was a waste? Dinner? That sucked. Some clothes that didn't end up fitting you the right way. A pedicure that ended up messing up the very next day. Ask yourself what you've spent $50 on that doesn't pay you back over and over. Or $100. I know I've wasted tons of that before. Another thing is if you're scared that you're not going to be successful, what's the worst thing that can happen? When you get your kit, it's literally stuff that you can consume. I watched a video this week from a superstar director named Angela Agosta. No, that's not her name. I'm sorry. I don't even remember what her name was. I watched a video and she literally said she bought the kit and was popping out her testers and using those as cubes in her warmer because she wasn't going to sell. If you join and you decide it's not for you or you whatever, if you fail because you didn't try or you fail for whatever reason or you quit for whatever reason, everything in your Scentsy kit is consumable. Everything. You get testers, you could literally pop them out and use them. You get a bar, you get a warmer, you get catalogs, you get all the things that you need to be successful, but you also get things that can be used if it doesn't work out for you. So just ask yourself, what's the worst thing that can happen? But I promise you, if you dive in, you follow these trainings, you're doing personal development, you're teaching yourself, you're doing the things that I teach my team to do, you can find success. You can find success. And do not ever say, oh, everybody sells Scentsy. No, the people you see in your news feed sell Scentsy. And I'm going to be honest with you, just because someone's posts on Facebook that they sell Scentsy does not mean that they're working their business. Because I know a ton of Scentsy consultants that literally put in 200 once every 4 months. And yeah, that's fine, but they're not working their business. They're just not. Because if you're working your business, you're sharing the product that you're using, you don't have to be salesy. If you are doing those things, you're going to find success. And
how do you even open this thing?
If you want to grow your paycheck, you want to grow your business, and you want all of those big things, the number one income producing thing you can do is grow your team. I don't know if anybody has any questions, but I feel like now at this point I'm just rambling, and I am going to go in, and I want you guys to sponsor all the people. Tell me your biggest takeaway. If you have any tips about sponsoring, please, please, please say them on here. And I love y'all. Mean it.